thing that a female friend has ever done to you?
Okay, y'all, story time, because it's the weirdness for me. So look, I was in high school at the time, and I had this best friend. We gonna call her Curly. She had some real good, pretty curly hair. So she ended up calling me up like,
best friend, let's go to Coney Island.
I'm like, Coney Island? She like, yeah.
My best friend, they having like a little event up there. My people's at the mayor, so it's gonna be free, you know, like it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be fun, like you should come.
I'm like, okay, best friend, like, yes, I'm in there, come school, yeah. So she ended up coming over, you know, coming to pick me up, and we ended up going to Coney Island. I had a blast. I ain't gonna lie, like, this was my first ever time being to Coney Island. Like, it was like really fun, the rides and stuff. And then I got to meet the mayor, and it was actually like cool to know that my best friend was related to the mayor of our city. So that was cool. So yeah, like, I had fun. So it's the end of the day, right? And we all walking back to the car. It's me, her cousin. We all walking back to the car, and we, you know, he ha laughing. It is what it is. And she either ended up asking me to do something, or I don't know, but she ended up something, and we ended up getting into it. So we you know, going back and forth. Nothing big though, like just something small. So we going back and forth, and she ended up saying like,
You better watch yourself before you end up stranded.
She not talking to me like.
I said,
Who gonna be stranded?
She said,
You sit up here getting smart like I won't leave your ass.
I said,
Believe me, the fuck? I ain't about to be stranded nowhere.
like, the fuck? That's weird as fuck. Like, what? So she like,
Yeah, this, that, and the other, you know.
she trying to go back and forth, and I'm like, go ahead. I already calling a rat, like texting a rat, like, stop playing with me. So she ended up basically getting in her car, her and her cousin, and them, they ended up getting in the car, and she left my ass. So not too long after, my stepdaddy pull up, he come get me, and I'm just sitting in the car like, damn, that bitch really left me at Coney Island. Imagine how Coney Island is like 30-40 minutes away from where I live at. It's down there 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Like, it's late as fuck. So it's like, bro, you really just left me up here by myself at 10, 11, 40 minutes away from my house. Like, what type weird shit is that?
What is the weirdest thing that a female friend has ever done to you? I'm gonna go first.
At one point, I was working at TGI Fridays. I'm not about to talk shit about the company. This is just an absolute fact that I used to work there. So this girl who was a friend of a guy I had a crush on, who was also my friend, but we were just cool. Like, we wasn't doing nothing. He had a girlfriend in the restaurant, and I just kind of like left that shit alone. Anyway, she just had a baby. This girl, let's call her Jay. Jay just had a baby. She needed a roommate. And her friend, let's call him T was like, hey, my friend needs a roommate, and you be looking for a roommate sometimes. Like, what you guys be friends? We just started talking, and we're like, hey, why not? We could be roommates. So she got an apartment in her name. And the reason why her boyfriend could not contribute that much to the apartment is because he was going to school to be a train conductor or something. So I'm working 2 jobs, she's working 2 jobs, and she was like, I'm only asking for $400 a month, whatever. Like, you can contribute to groceries, whatever. She was not hard pressed for money, but then later on she definitely was. So I don't know why she just said 400. She should have said like 600 or half the rent or something. Like, I could have contributed, but she was like, she was one of those. Anywho, then me, T, and then her, Jay. So me, T, and Jay were supposed to go out and like hang out or whatever, but then plans fell through, and we just ended up hanging out at T's house. I was under the impression that T and his girlfriend broke up, so we hooked up, and later on I find out that they were using that as currency between each other, T and J. They were the best friends, and I was just like the currency. My coochie was the currency. So whenever Jay asked for a favor from T, he was like, what's in it for me? And she'd be like, I'll give you Brenda. And And when I noticed this pattern and I wouldn't let her do this, she started switching up on me. And I'm just like, why are you pimping me out to your friend? And because she didn't have any furniture in her room or in any rooms, like her and her son were sleeping on an old mattress I brought, I had my furniture set up. She was really asking for me to let her cheat on my bed and say that my bed is her bed so she can cheat with guys on her bed, on her boyfriend. It was so weird. It was so weird, and I've never talked about this, and I don't know why.
Okay, so there's this trend going on. Yeah, what's the weirdest thing that your friend has ever done to you, or something like that, something along those lines. And there's quite a number of them, but there's this one that actually stands out in my experience. Okay, so this happens back in high school. Shapo, I was dating this boy, right? He was one of the popular guys at school and whatever. Okay, fine. Me dating a guy, he's popular. I'm popular. People know. House catches fire. Fire, widespread news. Cool, sharp, grand, fine. And then happens there's this girl, né? So I'm not sure if the girl was the girl. Okay, fine, I understand that she was there before me. However, I'm not sure if they were still dating while I got into the picture, or they had broken up, and then guy just decided to go move on with his life. Okay, fine. Shapo, fast forward. Girl sends me a friend request on Facebook. She's like, hey, I see you stay gay. Remember I said I used to be popular in high school. So she's like, can we meet up? Like, I think you're such a cool chick and whatever. Can we be friends? I'm like, okay, cool. Come through. You already know my home. Come through, and then we can go out for ice cream or take a stroll or whatever. Cool, we do that. She comes through Vele, and then we go out for a stroll and we catch up. Oh, I go guy. And I'm like, yeah, I go to whatever. We used to go to different schools. Catch up. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, oh my God, you seem like such a cool chick and whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know you like that, but let's just see where this goes. You look like a pretty nice girl. Okay, fine. Okay, see you too. Fast forward. There's these two girls that I know, ne? They go to church with that girl who came, who is like, she wants to be my friend. Okay, fine, but hey, when are you friends with Usman Ban? I'm like, no. I tell them the story behind how her and my met up and whatever. I think time is gonna run out, and I'm like, no, you guys, hold on. Like, I just tell them how we met and whatever. Time. Okay, I'm gonna make it part 2. Hold on.
What is the weirdest thing that a female friend has ever done to you?
Finally, my chance to tell my story. Okay, basically, so about 9 years old, my parents moved houses, and the new place we moved to, I met this girl. Okay, she's like, her family, like, their age difference is not much, so I was able to relate to literally everybody in their house. But my own family, I wasn't like, it was like my senior sister seniors me with 14 years, and she was like the only girl. Then my brothers, we are also way older than I am. So yeah, it was really difficult to actually, they tried their best to actually carry me along, but waiting no day. Okay, naturally, I'm never going to talk to you. It's just now that we've grown, I understand that we need to build like network, we need to grow businesses and all that. That's why you need to talk to people. But before, I know saying your papa. So literally, this girl came up to me. I was like, we are talking, like we are vibing. I was like, oh, finally I have a friend, I thought. So this babe was like, I don't know what to call her. whether she was just bad influence or I don't know. You know those girls that your parents used to tell you about, stay away from this person, stay away from this family. My mother actually told me to stay away from them, but I really did not care. So that year we go to church together. We literally did a lot of things together. The only thing was just that we were not in the same school, but I think we did like a whole lot of things together. Okay, that year now, this babe, I'll carry my money to buy my sweet and biscuit, only for me to reach there. The next thing you now hear, Chemaka, watch for me. Like she was actually like shoplifting, like she was stealing. Me, it wasn't really my business. I'll just stand, pick what I want to pick, and pay for it. So at some point, the people caught her. Like I said, this family actually moved weird. Like there were things that were very weird in them. So finally, one day the owner of the shop caught her and went to report to her mother. That's still what she was doing. And her mother came to say, wasn't Chemaka with her? And I was like, then at that point, I knew that I was just hanging on a string because my mother, the mother that born me, the mother that born me, is not going to even take shit. As the woman is just saying it, I'm collecting slap. So I had to just fight for myself. And she said, go to her mother's house and also tell her now what her daughter did. She wasn't even feeling bad at seeing what her child did. She just was bent on roping me into it. And I know that I didn't do anything. Watch out for.
What's something your friend did to you that made you realize they are no longer your friend?
Bro, I wish I was making this shit up right now. But basically, I became friends with this girl who was mad jealous, didn't want anybody to have anything to do with me. She would make up rumors, make up situations so that I'd have to cut them off or whatever. And then, this is where it gets crazy. Basically got to a point where anybody that she had a problem with, I had to avoid. Including her crushes. Like, I couldn't talk to them. I wasn't allowed to. The crazier thing about it is when I got raped, I actually ran to her. She called 911 for me and basically was there for the whole situation. After I got raped, tell me why this girl moved schools with me and then switched up, basically found a girl who didn't like me, became her best friend, and they just started conniving to get me jumped, record me anytime I left class, and all kind of weird, like, stalker shit. Went out of her way to convince people that I lied about being raped so that she could start gaining friends and people could start hating me with her. On top of that, this girl still to this day has group chats recording me and my TikToks.
What is the weirdest thing that a female friend has ever done to you?
I've been debating if I should add my little stories into here because it honestly could go for like 10 parts. I've had horrible past female friends. And it's not to say, like, I've taken accountability in where I was either too nice or giving the benefit of the doubt where it shouldn't have been. I'm going to try and talk quickly, but basically, I was in uni in Louisiana, a group of 4 friends, and 3 of them were from Louisiana, so they knew all the ins and outs, whatever. This might be a 2-parter, but anyway, I'm going to talk fast. But basically, they wanted to go shopping, and I wanted to go to the school basketball game. I had my car on campus, and one of the girls, she could drive, and she was like, oh, let me just take your car to the mall, and then we'll be back in time so we can all go to the basketball game. I was like, okay, fair enough, that's fine. Tell me why they didn't text or anything.
Alright, so I've been seeing the TikTok of the what's the grimiest thing your friend has ever done to you, so I feel like God is sending me a sign to tell my story. So here it is. So I had this friend, I was friends with since I was like 18. I'm 21 now, so like 3 years. We had went on a trip. We had planned a trip to Miami, and it was for one of our mutual friends' birthdays. So, but we had already took a trip before to Miami when I was 19, and she left me in Miami. So I was already on some, like, she had said like, oh, like Miami part 2, and I'm like, no, bitch, don't leave me in Miami again. So then she's like, nah, whatever. So we go over there. I get there Thursday night. We go to sleep. The next morning is Friday. We got to go get our hair done, lashes done and shit for me because the party is Saturday. So we get our hair done and shit. I'm in my getting my hair done outfit for me. Like, I've been in this outfit all day. We was in the salon all day, basically. So we like, all right, let's go get something to eat on the strip. So we go get something to eat. We link these niggas. She's like, oh, we're going to go to the strip club. I don't want to go to the strip club because I'm like, no. Like, I'm in my outfit from the salon. Like, I want to go home and change, bitch. We in Miami. So she's like, nah, like, come on, let's just go to the club. So I'm like, fine, let's go to the club. These niggas was already giving me bad vibes because they was on some, like, like, when we seen them, they was arguing with some girls, like, because the girl didn't want to talk to them. So I'm like, nah, like, these niggas is day room. Like, and she's like, nah, bro, these niggas got money, let's chill with them, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, but I'm already over it. Like, I'm not dressed to be going to no strip club, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm cute anyway, my hair is done, we outside. So we go, we get there. I'm telling you, I'm thinking the niggas is day room, but then when we get to the strip club, like, all the bottle, we go through, like, the back security, like, all the security knows the niggas, all the bottle girls know them, all the strippers know them. So I'm like, maybe these niggas are somebody, like, maybe they just in a bad mood being day room today. So we get in. I'm telling you, it's me and my friend, they got another girl, and then it's like 5 niggas, so it's 8 niggas. These niggas pop one little ass Patron bottle. So I'm like, nah. So the girl that we had met, the other girl that was with them, she didn't really know them neither. And she's telling me, like, yo, let's walk around. Let's meet somebody else because these niggas is not on, like, they got a little-ass bottle. So I'm like, facts. Like, let's walk around. But my friend is on some, no, I want to stay with these niggas. So we like, all right, you can stay with these niggas. We're going to walk around. So we find the vibe. Some niggas try to talk to us. They got bottles. They throwing money and shit. Like, them niggas wasn't even throwing money. We in a strip club. So we in the other section. I'm telling my friend, like, yo, come. Like, the section is lit over here. Like, leave them niggas alone. She's like, nah. So then she's dancing with the nigga, but, like, they're dancing and they on some, like, he got her bent over, pulling her hair type shit. So I'm like, no, I need to go get my friend. So I go get my friend. Why she spill a drink on some bitch? So when she spilled a drink on some bitch, the bitch get mad, and then...
What is the weirdest thing that a female friend has ever done to you? I'm gonna go first.
Girl, I've been waiting to tell this story. So for name and protection purposes, I'm changing their names to Cosmo and Wanda. I met Wanda through my job when I lived in Michigan. I was a line server at a buffet at a casino. I met Cosmo through Wanda because they were roommates. 3 of us would carpool to work every day together, basically. So I ended up moving to Florida, end of 2017, and she got into a big argument with me over my going away party because I made a post about it and I didn't tag her in it. So at that point we were no longer friends on her part. She gets back in touch with me after I've moved and apologizes. I forgive her, the whole 9 yards of how this whole friendship worked. She'd get mad, she'd apologize, I'd forgive her. You know the drill. And then I get engaged and ask her to be a bridesmaid. And she says yes, obviously. But when it came down to venues, like my bridal shower, she had some random dude bring her there because she couldn't drive herself and it was only like an hour drive, which I thought was weird. And she started throwing a fit about the weddings venue and how she didn't want to drive there by herself. And I'm just like, this is not my problem. Then I had rented a suite for my bachelorette party and everyone was supposed to pay $25 for their half. And she refused. Even after she told me she got a $700 check, she refused. And so I kicked her ass out of the wedding and replaced her with my cousin. As I should have. And still to this day, this girl tries to call me, text me. She tells other girls that I, don't really talk to anymore, but we're friends with, that we're going to be friends again, and I'm going to forgive her, and there's no way in hell I would ever accommodate myself to be friends with that girl. And as for Wanda, that bitch ghosted me on my wedding, and I had to replace her too. 3 months before my wedding, she just ghosted me, wouldn't reply, wouldn't text back. Even my other bridesmaids would try to call this girl. Nothing. I got nothing from either of them because they're two toxic ass fucking bitches. Long story short, don't become friends with toxic people. Run away at the first sight of a red flag. Period.
Hi guys. So I'm doing that. What is the weirdest thing that a female friend has done to you? Yeah, I'm doing that. I just can't stitch the video, but yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So So this was in my matric year. I think it was like 2019. Yeah. So I was friends with this girl. We're gonna call her B. Nah, B. And then there's this guy I was talking to. I think you guys already know how the story is gonna go. So fine. This guy and I, we start to date. And obviously I went to B and I told B that like they knew each other through me. Like I introduced them, like I've introduced them before, and like I think we like chilled a couple of times together, like all three of us, right? So fine, I go to B, I'm like, yeah, me and this guy are dating, blah 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 blah. Guys, a day later, this guy that I'm dating and my friend B are dating. And I don't know if there's something wrong in this guy's head or something, because he's the one that told me. He literally told me that B and I are dating now. He literally told me that they're dating. But it's like, how are you dating B when you're dating me? But I was like, hey, okay, sure. So I go to B, obviously, as my friend. I'm like, how B? X, Y, and Z. B denies everything, even though I had like evidence and chats. She denied everything. So after that, she goes and she tells this guy that I was dating, or that we were both dating, to she told this guy to basically send like one of his friends to me, basically like hand me over to his friends, so that I could like, I don't know, forget about him, or like kind of get over him, so that they could like date in peace. So yeah, the guy hands me over to his friends. But anyway, so I don't know what made me like cry out to B, even though she's the one that put me in that situation, you know. But I'm like crying. I go to B and I'm crying, like how can he do that? How could he do that to me? Like, guys, I know it was one day. I know we're only dating for one day, but I liked him prior to that. Like, I liked him way before that. Like, too much. I liked him too much. So as I'm venting and I'm crying about my heartbreak, B, you know what B does? B is just there sending me song recommendations to listen to, as if she's not the one that's on my mind. She is sending me like, guys, you know those songs that you listen to when you're going through a heartbreak? She's sending me those songs to get over my heartbreak. She is sending me those songs. But my chat is, she literally told the guy to hand me over to his friends. Guys, only a day after though.
What is the weirdest thing that a female friend has ever done to you?
Don't do too much, bitch, because I'm taking out my hair. Anyways, so the weirdest thing that a female friend has ever done to me, this hoe was a Scorpio. So you know what they say about Scorpios, but bitch, I try to get hoes the benefit of the doubt. I'm taking my house, so please don't do too much. But yeah, so I had this one boy I did not play about. Like, everybody knew I didn't play about him. We was together for about, I want to say, like 3 years at the time. So, you know, I'm thinking this hoe was my friend, so she used to call me cousin and all this stuff, like cousin, all this. She used to rub my face, you so pretty, da da da. So I'm like, okay, thank you. Didn't think nothing of it because we was cool before, but I never experienced no weird shit from her. Like, so this bitch, I ended up one day catching her sending I ended up going through my ex's homeboy's phone because I was at his house watching his twin sisters. So, you know, we cool brother and sister. So he'll call me one day and be like, can you come to the house, you know, watch twins, because he needed to do something. And I let him use my car. So he left one of his phones behind. So I'm like, bitch, I'm finna go through that. I'm finna go through the phone. And I went straight to him and my boyfriend messages. So as I'm going through the messages, I'm seeing videos of him and like females or whatever. So I come across the bitch that's supposed to be my friend. She's in there showing her titties and her butt. So I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all, I was shaking. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this hoe is supposed to be my friend. Like, I used to take this hoe everywhere. I was the friend with the car. I was the bitch with the car. So I used to take this hoe everywhere. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm shaking. I go live, like, and she was mad, like, trying to sell me out. Oh, this and that. No, ho, you dead ass wrong and you got caught, bitch. I should have I should have stuck the mud hole in this hole, but I couldn't because I couldn't find her. So I never got a chance to beat her up. But to this day, I still want to like slap shit at her. Cause why did you try me like that? We was cool. You know what I'm saying? This was one boy that I did not play about, bitch. All the niggas that I was, you know, I would be talking to, you could have talked to them, bitch. But you wanted to talk to the main nigga I didn't play about. Girl, you out your rabbit ass mind. You was out your rabbit ass motherfucking mind. And to this day, I don't understand. But she's weird as fuck like that, and she do shit like that. She used to tell me, girl, she called her sister, she'll be talking to their boyfriends. So I'm like, bitch, if you're doing it to them, I know you're doing it to me, but I never caught her until then. So when I caught her, it was like, damn, bitch, your wholeness really don't have no boundaries. It has no boundaries at all. And I didn't understand that. But, yeah.